In this video, we are about to talk about an application of electromagnetic metamaterials, clocking device. We have already heard of clocking device as a science fiction object in many novels and movies like Harry Potter, Avengers, Star Trek, etc. Ever since the days of inception, the idea of imaginary clock is used as a plot device in many fiction novels and movies. Actually, the idea of clocking has so developed that it led the scientific brains to think of the way to develop it in reality. The basic idea is based on that objects in fog or smoke or invisible are partly invisible. So scattering technique is used at start to make the objects invisible, and thus leading that a cloaked object scatters more than an uncloaked object. The recent scientific experimentation is of the following kinds: metamaterial research, active camouflage, and plasma stealth. In plasma, some of the rays are absorbed and makes the body invisible for detection using the rays. We are discussing about the use of metamaterials to develop clocking. What are metamaterials? Properties depend on arrangement of the objects rather than the composition of the object. These objects are in a way crystals or fat or materials that are arranged in different ways to get different properties. Why are we using metamaterials? Because the metamaterials properties are not dependent on its composition and only dependent on their arrangement and the surface interaction between different materials that are used. It gives us some varied properties that doesn't exist in nature. Material response has a broader range. The material response to any light incident on metamaterials has a broader range, and that can be controlled at will because we can control the refractive indices of different parts of a metamaterial. We can have negative and fractional refractive indices even by different arrangements of metamaterials. Controlling electromagnetic fields. The idea that light is composed of varying electric and magnetic fields is exploited by many devices. Examples are modulation using optical lenses and shielding uses metal cases for sensitive instruments. But in this case, using metamaterials, if a light is incident, as shown in the figure on a clocking object, most of it gets scattered. Metamaterials used are arrangements of materials with positive and negative permittivities and permeabilities. Gradations of refractive index when combined create invisible clocking. Light, when incident on a clock, gets bended all around the covered object and then again left to resume its path and skipping the object, making it invisible. And thus, in a way, we can see that when light tries to incident on an object, then it is bended by the surface phenomenon between different parts of the metamaterial, thus making a way for it to slide past over the object to the other side without being obstructed by the object, thus giving us a feel that the object is not there. Hurdles in metamaterial development. The anisotropic effects of the material used for making metamaterials is one of the hurdle, and selected metamaterials now are incapable of reaching broader spectrum. Transformed permittivities and permeabilities cannot be too large or too small, affecting properties. Recently, clocks, many clocks are made. A metascreen is made, that is a meta mi- micro clock, and different kinds of transformation are possible: point transformation or plane transformation, spatial transformation, etc., forming different types of clocks these days.